again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and today we're taking a trip back to the 70s, maybe the late 60s, for this little guy. And it's a mysterious little machine because there's no name on it. But I've seen 1,000 of these. I don't know, maybe more than 1,000. They've been around for a long time. Some of the first machines I worked on are like this. These were the ones that you could get from Japan, and they competed very nicely with everything that was out there. And they were cheap as could be. Oh my gosh, the quality was unbelievable. This has got heavy chrome on it. Everything that is put on here, 50 years ago still works just like new. Put a little 4-aught on this, 4-aught steel wool on this, and spun it and got it looking good. The chrome's real heavy. It's an HA-1, HA-1, and it's a copy of a Singer 15 class side load 15 class bobbin. That's what we spun up here and use them for the top. Everything on it works like the day it was made, and it will work forever. Just keep it out of the weather, don't let it get rusty. This little guy, it's got little oil holes on top. You give it a drop every now and then, and the shuttle every 2 bobbins, give it a drop, keep a quality needle in there, flat side to the right. And I put a belt on this, that's all it needed. It's got a fractional horsepower motor on the back. It's got oil reservoir felts at each end of the motor, so you can keep a couple drops of oil on there and keep it lubed up. The motor is a good high-speed motor. Disengage it there and let's whistle that guy run. That's what it sounds like when it's at peak operating efficiency and capacity. Great little machine. Now the motor has a little plaque on it that's reminiscent of a Montgomery Ward. Sometimes these would say Montgomery Ward, 2 screws, dressmaker, dressmaster. Leonard Brothers in Fort Worth sold them. They're called Lincos. But I got a drawer with the screws. You put your name on it. If you ordered these by the container, you could put your name on it like Carl at Carl's Sewing Center did. His would say Carl's. All it was a good open label machine from Japan, quality stuff. And if you can get one of these, people turn their nose up at these like, oh, that's kind of a clunky old, yeah, kind of like a bulldozer that'll last forever. And it'll run on a generator. You don't have to worry about any kind of a clean signal or sine wave or anything like that. There's no computers, no plastic. Really hadn't been brought to the fore yet. Put a bobbin winder ring on it. All this stuff is standard. They say, well, you don't want these, you can't get parts for them. Yes, you can. I have drawers full of parts for these old things, and so does everybody else if they've been around for any time at all. And you get the parts for it online because they interchange all the 15 class machines. Every screw on here is a Singer screw. Interchanges with the 15 class Singers right down to the needle plate, the bobbin case, everything on it, and it will hum. It will fly. It is made in Japan. It is quality, and it will deliver. And how do you thread it up? Very simple. If you ever get a chance to get one of these, make sure it's threaded properly. It threads a little differently than, I don't know, ones nowadays, because it's on a side load deal. So if I get some light on the subject here so you can see what's going on. Put your thread up here, step 1. Of course, step 1's always raise the presser foot. I knew that. Raise the presser foot. It goes in here, around between the disc, around, pick up the spring, click it in the notch, take it up to the take-up lever, left to right, down through the guide, another guide, thread the needle straight through, left to right, needle threads, left to right. Flat side goes on the inside, the long groove is on the outside. There's your patch-o-matic for doing darning and freehand monogramming, stuff like that. Awesome machine, made out of cast iron, has an automotive finish on it, very good paint job. And the chrome's chrome, and this thing will last for generations. If you can find one, you want to have a good machine for a backup. Well, your plastic one, your electronic, what the lady the other day called it, Plastic Fantastic. If your Plastic Fantastic is in the shop, you'll be one to sew a straight stitch. That's what this does. Only straight, front and back. And it only does it perfectly, so why would you want it, right? Grab one of these at Goodwill for 20 bucks. Give them 30, make their day. You'll love it. Put a belt on it, whatever it needs, no big deal. A great little machine. It's the little no name from whoever.